Good afternoon, everybody. This is Bob Iacino along with Mike Arnold from Path Trading Partners. A weekend update Path Chat covering the futures markets for May 21st, the week beginning May 21st. I always start them on Sundays. We always start them on Sundays because there's Sunday data that comes out in the Asian markets, and the FX markets are open, the futures markets are open. So the trading week does start on Sunday in the afternoon, Chicago time, May 21st. If you're interested in a little recap of last week was mostly political. This week should be a little bit more data driven. If you are interested in an update on things that happened last week and what we see in the economic calendar of importance along with the estimates, check out about the first 10 minutes. I'd like you to check out the whole thing, but check out about the first 10 minutes of the FX Path Chat for the weekend, which is up on our YouTube channel right now. But other than that, you can see a VIX chart on your screen. You can see that the VIX spiked and collapsed. We talked about the reasons for that in the FX Path Chat, but we also talked about the reasons for that on our podcast. If you guys listen to our podcast, Money Path Podcast, available on iTunes and Google Play, as well as on our website, pathtradingpartners.com, you'll hear a lot more extended fundamental discussions and some fun stuff as well on the markets in general. In the meantime, though, let me turn it over to Mike. Mike's going to cover the usual futures charts that he does during the weekly Path Chats. And Mike, please take over. It's all yours.
Very much, Bob. So it looks like we're back in risk off mode, one of Bob's least favorite terms. If you want to know more, tune into the Money Path podcast on that. So VIX now back down to closing 1204. Looks like we could head back in the 11 range next week. We shall see, unless something else spooks the markets. So let's see what the markets actually finished the week doing. Transports. Thursday, Friday, a little rally back to prior breakdown zone right around this 89.35 area where we have a declining 8 EMA. That's going to be some pretty decent resistance. So if we rally up, watch for resistance right around this 89.35 to 89.45. If we get through that, next key level is about 89.80. Then we have a significant level about 9,025. If we turn around and head lower, support 87.85 area, then down to the new defining point on the trend line, which is about 87.44 to 45, and rising 200. What's interesting, if we do get a close below this trend line in the 200, we do not have any major areas of support until down at the 81.43. Doesn't mean it has to go there. There's just no major areas of support. So we'll be relying on Gann projections, Fibonacci, and Gann retracement areas. So that's what we'll be watching for in the transports. Over to the industrials. Reached down to the end of this advanced clear path move, which also became the new defining point for this trend line. Came up to kiss the old trend line goodbye and the prior breakdown zone. So reached a number of targets that we were watching for. Now we can remove this old trend line. If we continue to rally, there is going to be a fair amount of resistance right around Friday's highs, coming in about 20,857. If that's broken, watch for 20,896 to 20,900. And then if we get through that, 20,980. And then above that, we'd be watching for about 21,000 to 21,025. On a pullback, heading lower, minor support 20,722. Then we'll be watching for the level of 20,688, and then nothing down until we have 20,607 to 20,600. Then we'd be watching for a retest of our new trendline defining point coming in at 20,553. If we do get a move below that defining point, we're still going into what we call a single candle clear path, which has some advanced rules, but there's no major breakdown yet like could happen in the transports. Over to the S&P, another new trend line, also market rallying up on Friday to kiss the old trend line goodbye. When it broke through this trend line, we were watching for an end of the advanced clear path, which we also got there. So this trend line can be removed, and we'll just be focusing on this new trend line. So Continued rally back up. On Monday, we will be watching for 23.88, first level of resistance, 23.94, then a possible return to about 24.04. Those are the key areas. Pullbacks, the 23.75 area, then nothing really down to about the 23.63. Then if that's broken, 23.53, then a possible retest of the end of the advanced clear path, 23.47 to the new defining point, which comes in at 23.44.50. Over finally to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ also 2-day rally, turning to test this 12.5% Gann zone from the underside. 56.80 is going to be key resistance on Monday. If that's broken, we don't have any levels until a retest of the prior highs, 57.27.25, and then if that's broken, we use Gann projections. 57.75 area would be the next one higher. Pullback 53.32 first level, next level right around 55.83, and then possibly down to the new defining point coming in at 55.50 area. So those are going to be the key ones. If that new defining point is broken, 55.35 is the next level down. Switching over to crude oil, which has had a very nice rally for the past couple weeks, ending just below our significant level at this 50.75. It's caught between these two significant levels real quick, so that's going to determine the next major direction. If we rally up, 51.25 area is next one. Then we'd be watching for a retest of this trend line right around 51.70. And then we'd be looking for about the 52.50 area. Turn back around, very key support right around this 49.60 area. If that's broken, 49 is going to be the next level, and then possibly down to 48.50. But we've also triggered a trendline trade which has the ultimate target of 53.17. So we're going to be watching to see if it reaches that full target eventually with an intermediate target of this upper trend line. Over to copper. Copper, very nice rally on Friday, getting above the 50-day EMA again. So continued rally on Monday, $2.60.47, $2.61.57 next level, and then the full target. This also did trigger a trendline trade with a full target of 266 area. That's what we'll be watching for. Pullbacks, 255.83, followed by 253.50 area. Then if that's broken, possibly down to 251.53. Switching to gold. Pullback Thursday, rally Friday. Really, we have two key levels. We have a new defining point right at a significant level coming in about 1265. Another defining point where we're getting the first cross of rotation zone and a Gann cluster right around this 1245. So that's really going to determine the next direction. Breakdown below 1245. We'd then be watching for about 1243 and then nothing down to 1235 area and then the 1233 area. So the first pullback level will be this 1247. On a continued rally, first area of resistance about 1261.50. Then we'd look to retest the new defining point and the significant level right about 1265. If that is broken, watch for a move to the end of this final advanced clear path, 1269 to 1270, and then the 1272 area. And finally, over to silver. Silver also testing this $16.86 significant level. So that's going to be minor resistance on Monday. If that is broken, 1694 next level. Then the new defining point, 1703 area. And if that's violated, watch for about 1716. On a pullback, minor support coming in about 1670. More substantial support coming in 1657 area to 1656. And then if that's broken, we could possibly see a return to the 1642 area, which would also trigger a trend line trade into this simple clear path. That's all we have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you very much, Michael. If you like what we're doing, please hit like and subscribe, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Have a good trading week, everyone. Cheers.